Hello, welcome back to part 2. If you haven't watched the first part, go watch the first part. Excuse any background noise as well, it's a bit loud down there, but we will continue. So, there was a few things that I forgot to mention. One, make sure you save. Save. I didn't save once, which, pretty stupid. File, save as, easy. I saved when I finished it, so save, bam, done. Next thing, I don't know if I said this in part 1, but the texture for the eyes isn't really necessary. You don't really notice it, you're just going to see black. Like if you see from a distance, you're not really noticing that, so that's not, I'm just adding the detail. You'll need textures for the legs if you want it to look like real, but for the eyes and mouth it's not too necessary. Third thing, make sure, well, this is more of just an organization thing. We're going to pair them up, so we're going to parent the objects. We don't want them all to be part of one object because then we can't adjust them later, but we can parent them. So because at the moment if we move this, you see what the hell's happening. We want to move the object and have the eyes and the mouth follow. So to do that, we have to, because it's projected as well, it might be, well, it's not hard, ignore me, but certain things it might be harder to select the actual object, so sometimes it's handier to just select it up here. But so how we do this, when you parent it, the last object you select is going to be the parented or the parent object. It's going to be the main object that you can move around and everything will follow. So to make sure we're doing this correctly, or as an example, we'll click the eye, we'll hold shift and then click the marshmallow, and because we've selected that last, that will be the object that it pairs to. So if we right click now and go down to parent, make parent without inverse, keep transform. Why are we choosing that one? Because Blender Guru told me. I don't know, but it works, so I'm doing it. Now if we move the marshmallow, you see the eye stays on it but nothing else does. That's because that's the only object that's parented. So now if we can do it with multiple objects. If we go select the eye, hold down shift, select the mouth, and then select the marshmallow, right click parent, blah blah blah. Now if we move the marshmallow, it all follows. Perfect. And you'll see up here it's a bit cleaner. I'll label these as well. We'll go front reference, and then no, that's that one, side ref, just so it's a bit more clear now. So right, bit of organization, and I think we're back on track. Oh, another thing that I wanted to do is what causes issues further down the line sometimes is if your object doesn't have its scale, location or rotation set. I think that's what you'd say, but basically you want to be making sure you're creating things to scale. So if we if we go down to the object menu, you can see the scale here is point blah 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 blah. We don't want that. I think you can get away with it, but for this example we're just going to tidy it up. So if we select the object, Control A, all transformations, so you now see it all goes back to 0, which is good. We like that. For the eye, Control A, all transformations. Now you see, because we've changed that slightly, it's sort of the scale has now changed. So the 0 point, this is how I think it works. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the where are we? This scale here now needs to be adjusted slightly, so there's not as much of an offset. We'll do the same here. All transforms. So now we just need to adjust this to. Let's get it close so we can sort of see. Maybe 1, a little bit less. Maybe we'll do. Oh, even smaller. 5. You know what? Is that okay? Yeah, we'll do that for them all. So we'll just add a 0. Bam. And bam. Perfect. So now we're back to where we started. basically, but we just tidied everything up a little bit. Now we're going to do the legs. Now the legs, I might do it slightly differently than what a normal person would do, but this is my method, and I think it looks alright. So first of all, we're just going to we're just going to hide the pink marshmallow, and we are going to add, so Shift A, Mesh, UV Sphere, and we're going to Control 3 to make it nice and smooth, add a subdivision onto it. We're going to add that, apply. The reason for that is because we're going to sculpt it, and if you don't have enough polygons, is that right? Yeah, if it's too low poly, you get lots of sharp edges and it's a bit janky, it doesn't look right. So you just want more, because I don't know if I just explained this, but when you subdivide, if I go back, you can see this is what the object looks like. When you subdivide, it basically cuts each face into 4, I think. So if we go into 1 and I apply that, and it can't have edit mode, and I apply that, you see now this square here is now being cut into 4. So if I undo that, you see, I think I was right. So if we Control 3, what that's basically doing is going bam bam and then bam bam and then bam bam. So it's doing like lots of things at once. Control 3. There we go. So we're going to apply that shortcut. Control A, and now there's a lot going on there, which is handy for when we're sculpting. Now I'm not a sculptor. If you want to learn to sculpt, go to a sculptor. So we're not going to do proper sculpting. We're going to do a pretty like easy, quick sculpt just to get the rough shape. So if we go into 1, actually first we'll make sure we scale it down. So if we go to 1, let's come out of this render view, and we go Alt Z, shrink this down to a rough size, maybe a little bit bigger because we're going to be shaping it a little bit, and then we can always scale it down later. But yeah, about that. Maybe remove this. No, that'll be fine. We don't need to do that. Right, so sculpt mode. Now let's just sculpt. Now it's like I said, it doesn't need to be. Make sure you're in sculpt. Make sure we've got the right object selected first. Sculpt. It doesn't need to be perfect. I don't know if you can hear the background noise, but sorry if you can. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I'm just gonna do some rough sort of, already. That's the rough shape of the front. Obviously from the side doesn't look it, but from the front, that's not too bad. We're gonna sort of push this in a little bit, just make it a little bit flatter. What I also suggest doing is saving just before. I'm not gonna do it now, but screw it, I'll save. Why not? Save incremental. So my Blender just crashed, so that's perfect. I saved just. I did another half an hour of recording and finished the leg, and it was so perfect. You're just gonna have to trust me. You should have been there. It was absolutely amazing. But we're gonna have to do this again. Well, I'm gonna have to do this again. You're seeing this for the first time, so not entirely sure where we were. But modelling this foot by the looks of it. So I might be repeating myself because I'm taking 100 steps back. But so alright, flatten that. Okay, so I'm gonna get the snake hook tool there, and I'm just gonna try and get a good point, maybe a bit lower, and just drag. Too big. I did the exact same thing earlier. Drag that out. Bang. Don't like that. Don't like that one bit. I'm gonna drag it out like so. That'll do. That'll be fine. So we're gonna inflate this side. Just straighten up a little bit. This is super janky, sorry, I'm going to go back and do that again. That is not nice. That's better. That's a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab and just try and straighten this up a little bit. Just like so. Do I like that? Not at all. I actually think that was perfect at the start. If I go edit, redo. Well, perfect's a strong word, but I don't mind that. That will do. As I said, sculpting isn't I'm not super good on sculpting. But yeah, I'm going to sort of create this rough shape here. I wouldn't worry too much about how the perfect shape, because with the cloth simulation we are actually going to bring it, sort of, it's going to puff out a little bit, so this here will be puffed out. Maybe work on these little bits here, just, you know, a bit of detail. But I also want to flatten this a little bit, because if you see there, it's sort of like crinkled up a little bit, so I'm going to try and replicate that as best as I can. And like I said, it is going to get puffed up a little bit, so there's no point spending too much time on making this part perfect, because you're not really too sure how the cloth simulation is going to change it. But oh, don't want that. Just do the, oh, don't want that either. Just sort of do, make it a bit bigger. Sort of do the best that you can sort of do. Like I say, and if you're looking more for a tutorial on sculpting, go look at a sculpting tutorial list, because you're not going to get it here. That's not too bad. Oh, I can't believe I have to do this all again. Just like so. I think that's not too shabby. Maybe bring this in a little bit. I like that. Not too bad. Right, so if we go back into layout, if we look on the mesh, that is atrocious. That is disgusting. Look at this. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. And this over here, foul, disgusting. Because what I want to do is, we don't need all this. Like, his leg's not that long. So if we go like that and I delete this, what the hell am I working with there? That is absolute tragic. Maybe there's an easier fix for that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remesh. Basically, it's going to do it with, it's going to create the same shaped model with lower polys. This is how I would describe it, as someone that has no idea how it works. So I think this is from a Blender Guru tutorial. I believe I saw the remesh in. I think it was the Teddy tutorial he did, and you know, sort of similar sort of Teddy-like legs. So it works here too. So we're going to do, now we'll do it with these settings. Remove volume, and if I come off edit mode and remesh, not too bad. That's all right. Actually, I quite like that, because if we undo that and we change this to say 2, it does too much. We don't want that. So what we want is that. Perfect. And now I can way easier get rid of this, because if you look, it's all just straight lines. Oh, it's perfect, all straight lines. So if we go notepad 3, X-ray mode, we'll go voxel, vertices select. We'll do vertices select. Bam. Maybe take that one as well. Bam. X, delete vertices. And now, look at that. That is beautiful. So edit mode, edge select, alt select. If we go face grid fill, that works. Maybe I don't like that. Control Z, face fill. Don't like that either. Let's do grid fill. Maybe I can offset it slightly. That's a bit nicer. That helps me later on when we come back to that. So what we want to do now is we want to create seams, because there are seams here anyway, but we want to create seams so the texture can sort of, because otherwise the texture is going to be a mess and we don't want that. So we're going to create seams, and it will all make sense later when we UV unwrap. So let's go in, bring that down. Right, let's go on to edit mode, edge select, and we're basically just going to create you see this face here, here, you see this front face here. We want to get that same sort of face here, so we're going to do that here. Here, 100 hairs in that sentence. So if I just go, oh, there we go, look at that, almost made it. If you control click, it will get to the point that you selected in, it'll get to the point you selected in the least amount of steps. So if I could control, so I've seen this white piece here is the last placed edge. If I click, control click, shortest path. And I do control click, shortest path, control click. We don't want that piece there, but that's the shortest path. So if we go right click, and I'm going to have to do this joke again because I've already done it and you didn't hear it, but we're going to mark seam. Who's Mark? Yeah, it was just as dreadful. Mark seam, Mr. Mark seam. So anyway, we've got that face now, but now the rest of the texture is going to mess up on this bit here. So we need to create smaller little sections. So the easier one to do is probably just around here. So if I just go Alt select, and then Control select around here, Control select around maybe to there. Yeah, that works. And then bam, right click, help from Mark. Then we'll do a line down here. So if we go bam, bam, Mr. Seam, thank you very much. Bam, nope, bam, 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 bam. Mr. Seam again. Mark has been well helpful. Then we're going to go bam. Well, maybe we'll go bam there. I'll stop bams as well. Control click to there. See, this back part doesn't matter too much because we're not really going to see it. But we still want it. We still want to do it just in case, you know, make it look good. There we go. That's all right. Mark seam. Thank you, Mark. You've been very helpful today. So now, if we come into the material, do material view, UV editing, and I want to go A to select all, U, unwrap. We've got these different meshes. Now what I like to do, I don't know if it's the right way to do it. Ah, poo. Don't know if it's the right way to do it, but I select each mesh and I just put them in their own section. This is probably a sin somewhere, a Blender sin that I've not heard about, but this is how I do it. If it's wrong, tell me how to do it right. Come at me and tell me how to do it. Bam, move that over there. Bam. Oh, I thought that was perfect then. Bam, bam. Oh, poo. Don't want to do that. Ah. Move that over there. Move that over there. Just so they're all easy to grab individually. So, I haven't even applied the texture. The texture that I'm going to be using for this is the Ducky 3D texture again because it's quick and I am not a texture expert. So if you want a texture expert, if you want a sculpting expert, go to the experts. This is just an overall package and this is how I'm doing it. You can get similar textures elsewhere, but this is just pretty quick and easy ones to do. So like I was saying, if you want this pack, it's a Ducky 3D one. He's not sponsoring me. You can go find it yourself. I wish he was sponsoring me. Maybe the third part. I'll be bigger in the scene by then. There we go. And you can sort of see what I'm going with. It's blue. We don't want blue. We're going to change the color. But you can sort of see it's like, you know, maybe not just yet, but just you wait. If I change to similar color, bring it darker maybe. There we go. That's the sort of direction you want to be going in. Maybe a bit like that. That'll do. That's alright. That's good. That's good. That's good. We want to bring the dirt down a little bit, maybe. No, the dirt works. So what we want to do is we want to bring the ratio in, so it's proper tight, and then bring the scale up, like so. Maybe bring the. Do you see what I'm coming with? You see what I mean? Oh, that's way too much. Not too shabby, maybe a little bit too high that. Maybe we go down a little bit. Whoa. 0.11. Meh, that works. Maybe 0.13. Okay, that works. I like that. That's fine. That works. That works. Maybe bring this in a bit more. Oh, you could do this for ages. You know what? I'm settling on this. I'm settling on that. That's fine. So you see the different sections that we just marked off. Hey, different sections. If we go in, make sure we're in material mode. The front section's fine. This section I sort of want to be wrapped around a bit better, so I just need to find. Oh, maybe it is that one. Nope, that's the other side. Maybe a bit more like. Maybe it was alright. It's sort of hard to tell. Maybe that's alright as well. Maybe a bit more rounded, maybe. What's? Oh, that's the front. That's fine. This one here. Rotate. What's going on? There we go. Rotate, and then that's pretty fine as well. Oh, bloody! What's going on there? Right. Make sure the recording's still going. That would be dreadful. God, I'm gonna learn from my lesson now. We're gonna save. So if we come up here, save incremental. Is that saved? I think that's saved. I think we're good. Let me just double check. Sorry, flashbacks. We are saved. It's just very important. You want to make sure you're saving. Whoa. Is that maybe a little bit less variation, just a bit more all-rounded. Bring that intensity down a little bit. Okay, you see what we're working with there. Yeah, it's alright. So now what we're going to do is my favourite part. We want to do a cloth simulation which will sort of puff it out and give us little crinkles. We'll be able to smooth the crinkles out, but it does sort of help to give it this, like it's been stuffed sort of look. So to do this, we need to create areas where they can be sewn together and then puffed out. So we're going to do that here. It will all make sense. So we'll make sure in face select. And I'm going to, we want a nice sort of, I think this along here could work. Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful, all the way around. This might be an issue though. Maybe not, because it is connected. You want to sort of make sure there's lines, edges connecting each part, which looks like is all good. So now we want to go X and delete the faces only, so that we still have these edges in between. Edge, edge, edge. They're all still there. So now we're going to add a simulation because it's fun. Simulation, so we want to go down physics, cloth simulation. If we go over to here, make sure we're in the timeline. Bring this down. Oh my god, have I not had the thing on this whole time? Oops. Oh, I've just realised I didn't have the little mouse down in the bottom, so apologies if it's been confusing to follow, but it's back now. So anyway, back to creating a cloth simulation. So first of all, make sure we're in not edit mode, and we just press start. He's had enough, which is annoying because we need to deal with him more. So we're going to go down to field weights, turn the gravity off so he cannot run away. Look at that. There's no escaping us. Not until we're done with you, mate. Add some pressure. We'll just do 10 as a default. What's that going to do? Oh, he's standing up. Mark's helping him stand up. It's a really weird angle. But that's fine. It looks a bit weird, but to fix that issue, because what it's doing, I think, is all thinks. I don't know perfectly, but I think the pressure's sort of, yeah. Anyway, shape. We're going to add sewing. So what that will do is now sew the edges together, and if we press space, look at that. It sort of puffed it up a little bit. But that's sort of nice. So if we go bam, and we find a little bit that we like, you see you're sort of getting these creases now, which will look nice, I think, in my opinion. I think it looks quite nice. So, you know, this leg has puffed up a little bit, but, you know, what are you going to do? But that's fine, that works for me. So, what this does actually do now, though, if I go Control A. If we go into the rendered view, oh, it doesn't. Last time I did this, it made it look awful. Oh, perfect. If yours is looking awful, you might need to re-seam it, because you see it's got a few creases here. You might need to sort that out, but for this, that's fine for us. Not for me in this case. But what you might notice is if you go along, let's come out of this mode. If you look along here, there is actually gaps in these seams here. They're not connected properly, because obviously we removed the faces. So what we want to do to fix that is we want to add another modifier, and it's going to be the weld modifier. And you sort of want to go up. If we come into this mode, sort of go up, and you see that here. If we go boom, it fixes it. It brings them together. It's basically welding the sides. Like, look, this is a big bit here. If we just bring it up, just popping all back together, and we can actually keep going. And if we keep going to say 30, oh, it's welded it into existence. It's gone. That was 30 meters. We don't need that much. But you sort of see it clears up a little bit. So we're going to get rid of some of the creases because it is going to be a bit overkill. But I think that is okay. And if we go into rendered mode, if we, from a distance, hear me out. Okay, that's a bit rough. Is that marked as smooth? Shaded smooth. Right, okay, so now to make it a little bit smooth, we're going to Control A that. We're going to subdivide. And it sort of smooths out a little bit. And if we go back, oh wait, no. If we add this, okay, what's going on? Right, add that. Whoa, it's made it horrible again. Maybe that was overkill. Maybe we'll just stick with the one, and then we'll add it. What that's done is, subdivided again. I think I've overdone it. Maybe we go back. Maybe we'll go back a little bit to the welding part, and we'll give it more. Maybe we'll just leave it there. We'll apply that. Maybe I don't even need. I do need to subdivide. That is a bit messy. Right, so we'll go Control 1. You know what? I'm being a baby. That works for me. That works fine. It adds a bit of variation. So now if we bring this mellow back, and then move forward. Look at that. It's looking good. Who would have thought? It's looking amazing. We're going to be lazy. What the hell? 2 legs? That's perfect. We're actually going to. That's right leg. Oh. Right leg. And then left leg. And then bam, bam, bam. So shift click, shift click, shift click, right click, parent. So now look at that. Oh, mellow, marshmallow. Mallow. Anyway, let's not look at the side. Maybe we'll bring them up a little bit like that. Maybe they. Let me go into this view. They do. Okay, right. Let's. They both selected. Go into that mode. Rotate. Sort of. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just waffling now. Sort of bring them to where you want them to be. That's a bit better right there. Maybe rotate that on a bit more, just so it's not the exact same. Top mode. Christ, that needs sorting out. Rotate. Like so. Rotate a little bit, bring it in. Oh, oops, don't want to do that. You know what? It's not looking too shabby. Like I said, we're only going to really see it from the front, so it is puffy legs and it doesn't look amazing, but we're seeing it from this angle, maybe even from the top. And even then, you can just sort of make sure you're rotating in the right axis. Which one we're on? You can sort of just, you can sort of just cover it up. There's different things you can do, and it is it's a bit of a You know, it's not the best way of doing it, but you know, it looks fine. It looks good, and that works for me. So I think that is a good point to conclude this part. It's been a bit stressful on my end because I've had to do this twice, but yeah. So that's that part. What we're gonna do next is my notes are actually finished. So now I'm going freestyle. Oh god, you can actually. Oh no, you can't. I'm going freestyle now. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna add fur. We're gonna weight paint to sort of dictate where fur can go, and then we're going to add some fur to the feet, and then we're gonna make a scene. So nearly done. 3 parts is a good amount, I think. All about the same length, I think. We'll see. But yeah. Thank you for watching. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't come back. We don't want you. You know, don't dislike though. We only want likes. Likes only. But yeah, I'll see you in the next part. If you're watching back to back, like I said last time, I'll see you in about 7 seconds. Goodbye.